Hey everyone, this is Steven here, back at it again with another video. In today's video, I plan on walking you guys and gals through how I tried to identify undervalued sports cards by using the Market Movers app. But before we get into that, if you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more in the future, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. So now that we got that out of the way, we can get started. And again, this is by using the Market Movers app. You do have to pay for this. In one of my future videos, I am going to look at some free alternatives if you aren't interested in paying for this app. I have no affiliation with Market Movers. This is simply an app that I use to help try to identify trends as well as look at some undervalued cards, in my opinion. I'm not trying to say these are some cards you should buy or should not buy. I'm just trying to highlight how I try to identify undervalued sports cards by using the Market Movers app. With that being said, we can get into this. So I'm going to filter on, for this video, we're only going to look at baseball cards. So if you're looking for any other sports, I apologize. But the same methodologies can be used for other sports. For this video, I'm just going to focus on baseball. And how I got here is in this dollar tag icon here. I clicked on price movement by player, and then I'm filtering by baseball here. And then I'm just going to filter by PSA 9s. PSA 10s are out of my price range. I like to focus on PSA 9s. And the raw cards, they have a lot of price variations and price swings. So just for this example, I'm going to focus on PSA 9s as a solid baseline, and that's typically what I like to use. You can use whatever filter you like. I just like to focus on the PSA 9s. And then we click OK, and then also down here you can look at the price trends for the last 7 days, last 14 days, last 30 days. For this, I'm going to focus on the last 60 days. So that goes right before the baseball season started, so we can see the trends and how these cards have done over the last 60 days. And you can also go back for a full year, so you do have different criteria that you can put in on the timelines here. But for this, we're just going to focus on the last 60 days to see how these cards and players have done since the start of the season, or close enough. So we can start here, and this starts off by filtering by the highest percentage gains since the last 60 days. So this is basically saying that Shohei Ohtani cards, and this is saying 20 cards of Shohei Ohtani. So this is showing a portfolio of each player. So out of this 20 card portfolio for Shohei Ohtani, those cards have gone up 86% over the last 60 days. So I like to look at this to see which cards have been going up over a certain period of time. So we can see that Shohei Ohtani's cards have been going up pretty significantly. He's had a tremendous year. He's been pitching really well as hitting, a lot of home runs and being pretty productive hitting. So his cards have obviously gone up. Jared Kelenic, Mariner, so I'm pretty happy about this. But his cards have gone up about 36%. He recently debuted a couple games ago. And his second game, he went 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 doubles. So it does look like his cards have gone up since then. So about 36% his cards have gone up. There's only 3 cards in his portfolio. And then we can go down the list here to see some of the cards that have gone up. Freddie Freeman, interesting, his cards have gone up about 12%. I think a lot of that has to do with his documentary that came out. He hasn't had the best season this year, but I think that documentary did help his cards out a little bit. And then Acuna Jr. has been playing out of his mind, so his portfolio of 40 cards has gone up by about 12%. But this kind of shows the cards that are trending up. As you can see, not a lot of cards have gone up over the last 60 days. As we know, typically the sports card market kind of peaks at the beginning of the start of the season. That's when the hype is the highest, and then they slowly start trending downwards. That's typically what we've seen over the last couple years. So out of all the sports cards and players, not a lot are in the green over the last 60 days. So what I like to look at, and this depends on personal preference on trying to identify value in cards, but instead of looking at cards that are trending upwards, I personally like to look at cards that are trending downwards. So if we double click on this percent change here, this will show the cards that have gone down the most over the last 60 days. So as we can see, and this is pretty interesting I thought, but Tom Glavine cards, and this is a 5-card portfolio here, the cards have gone down by about 47% over the last 60 days, which I thought was pretty interesting. I know we had the junk wax era boom in the February timeframe, so this could just be the cards coming down and kind of normalizing from that peak. Alex Rodriguez cards have also come down about 45%. Bobby Witt Jr. So as you can see, this just organizes it from the biggest losers and all the way down. So one of the players I did want to focus on, I'm not the biggest prospector, but I did think it was pretty interesting to see Jason Dominguez cards have gone down about 36%. And then what we can do is if you just click down here on that arrow icon, it will pop up all the cards. So for Jason Dominguez, it's a 4-card portfolio. So then we can scroll down here and see what cards make up that portfolio. So as you can see, the 4 cards here, and then it tells you the percent down for each card. So you can see this card here is his first edition base PSA 9 of the Bowman first edition is down about 40%, and there's only a population of 327. So if you were a Jason Dominguez fan, I know he hasn't been called up yet, and his cards did kind of peak a little early, so this could just be normalizing. But if we look at his chart, and if you click this chart button here, it'll chart the card, which is right here. This is his first edition. As you can see, his cards peaked here, looks like at the beginning of March, and ever since then they've been trending downwards. And the trend line looks pretty flat, but it does look like this card has come down pretty significantly from the peak. So if you were a Jason Dominguez fan and kind of more of a prospector, it does look like this could be a decent time to pick up some of his cards. I do know that the first Bowmans, they typically tend to lose value once, you know, these players make their debut and other cards come out. But again, this does look like this card has come down pretty significantly since his peak. And then we can go back here and look at some of the other cards. So we'll exit out of Dominguez, we can scroll down. Another card that caught my eye, and this goes to show that the baseball card market has been pretty soft. It looks like not only current players are trending down, but also popular Hall of Famers. So if we look at Ripken Jr. here, his cards are down 32% with a 6-card portfolio. So that was kind of interesting to me. I know we have a lot of Ripken Jr. fans out there. So if we look at his charts by card, it looks like his cards have gone down pretty significantly. But if we click on the 1982 Topps Traded base, which has about 3,800 in the PSA 9 population report. But if we look at his chart, here's the Ripken Jr. and this is the card right here. Very popular, iconic card. As you can see, his cards peaked here in the February time frame, and they've gone down pretty significantly. And it looks like they kind of bottomed out here. It looks like they're trending up slowly. But again, I thought if you're a Ripken Jr. fan, this kind of shows that this card is down from its peak. So if you are interested in some Ripken cards, this potentially could be a decent time to pick them up, as they are pretty high off of this peak. However, we don't know which way the card market's going to go. We can just look at the data and show what it's showing us. But this is showing that there is a pretty significant dip on Ripken Jr. cards. Then we can go back here and look at some more cards. I'll filter out of Ripken Jr. So Wander Franco cards are down about 32%. So if you're interested in him, you can check out some of his cards. But one of them that really caught my eye was Mookie Betts, down 31%, and down 50% is his 2014 Topps Update base rookie card in the PSA 9 with a population of only about 1,200. It's still down about 51%. So that caught my eye, and that was really intriguing to me. So if we chart that, as you can see here, this is the PSA 9 Mookie Betts. This is his flagship rookie card here. But as you can see, the trend line is still trending up. However, recently, his cards have fallen well below the trend line. So these cards have gone down in a pretty significant dip since the peak of the highs back in March. So again, this looks like this could present a decent buying opportunity if you're interested in Mookie Betts rookie cards. I mean, he's a one-time MVP, he has 2 World Series rings, a 4-time Silver Slugger. He's only 28 years old, so still has a pretty decent amount of time left. He plays on one of the most popular teams on the Dodgers. He's a batting title winner, as well as a 5-time Gold Glove winner. So he has a lot of accolades. He already has the MVP under his belt. So he seems more of a safer investment if you were looking to buy into some more established players rather than some of the newer prospects. So I think that this could potentially be a decent buying opportunity, as he's not currently having the best year, so his cards are down a little bit. If we come back here, Aaron Judge cards are down. Derek Jeter cards are down about 26%. So if you're a Derek Jeter fan, you could look into some of his cards. Tatis is down. He had that injury and he's not playing as well as people anticipated. But another player that really caught my eye was Juan Soto here. So Juan Soto, as a lot of you guys and gals probably know, but he's currently only 22 years old. He has 1 World Series under his belt. He's a 1-time Silver Slugger, and he's already won 1 batting title. He's one of the best hitters in the game. However, he did get hurt early in the season, and he recently came back, but he is slumping a little bit, so his cards have gone down significantly, so he's down about 24%. But I wanted to focus in on this card here, and that's the Topps Chrome Update. This is his base rookie card for Topps Chrome, and there's only 919 of these in the PSA population report, and this card is down about 36%. So if we chart this card over here, As you can see, his card peaked here in March and has gone down pretty significantly since his injury, and now it's trending well below the trend line here. So if you're a Juan Soto fan and don't have a lot of his cards, this looks like it presents a decent buying opportunity, assuming he can come back and continue to play like he's played in the past. But again, we are seeing a lot of weakness in the Juan Soto card market right now, and the Topps Chrome has a much lower print run than his traditional Topps Update rookie card. So this one has the same image, however, it just has a lot lower population compared to the traditional Topps Update rookie card, as you can see here. And then if we go back to the players here, and the Arenado cards are going down. Pete Alonso, Eloy, obviously because he got hurt, which makes sense. And then another one that caught my eye is my boy King Griffey Jr. here. So his cards are down about 13%. And then if you look at his 1989 Bowman, and this is his base PSA 9 rookie card, has a really high population. So that's probably one of the main reasons why it's down about 40%. But if you were interested in those cards, you can, if we take a look at it here, as you can see, it peaked in the junk wax boom in February, and now it's trending down. And it still looks like it's well below the trend line. So it does look like this card has gone down since the high. So it does potentially look like this could be a decent buying opportunity. However, it does have a really high population. So if we go back to his cards here, I like to focus on some of the Tiffany's and glossy cards that have a lower population. So if we look at his Topps traded Tiffany, which only has a population of 1,300 compared to the 11,000 up here for his Bowman base. So there's almost 11,000 here. The Topps Tiffany, which is a lot lower print run, this card only has about 1,300. And if we look at this, it looks like that's even down from its peak. So if you were interested in picking a higher end card up, it does look like this card is even off of its peak in February. So again, this just shows a list of the players, and I like to filter on the players that are down the most, and I just like to go through and see which cards and players that I'm interested in are down the most, and that's when I typically click on a specific player and card to see how they're trending. I just picked on some specific examples so you can kind of get a feel to see my thought process. I'm not trying to say that you should go and buy some of these cards or not buy some of these cards. I'm just trying to walk you through my current thought process and how I look at the data and look at this Market Movers app and try to make some more informative decisions based on the data that we have. But with that being said, I really hope that this tutorial was helpful, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoy this type of content. And if you do, please feel free to hit the like button and also subscribe. Thanks, and have a good day. Bye.